Hello again, it's your boy Fang. I have been long delayed in getting on with this Monobattles campaign, not because I've been particularly short of time, although, anyway, not that I've been particularly short of time, more that I've been afraid to come back and lose. But I thought to myself today, let's just get on with it, shall we? We're gonna lose anyway. I don't know about that. Maybe I'm being a little bit under sanguine about our chances. One thing I'm noticing coming back is that we can invite Hungary to the faction, which we will do right now. And unpause the game. Now the war is going to begin. Hungary, you were the chosen one. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Anyway, Hungary was the chosen one, but no longer. We're just gonna win this war the good old fashioned way, i.e., we're going to attack the Czechs with all that we have. Well, not really. 48 of our divisions, the best divisions we have, i.e., the best equipped, because there's startling shortages all around the army, but to a much lesser extent in the active 48 divisions we have placed along the Czechoslovakian border. I ought to mention that because they are guaranteed by Romania over here, in all likelihood, Romania is going to launch all, probably, perhaps not all actually, they may leave some to defend against the Soviet border. They're going to be coming through the mountains to aid Czechoslovakia, which rather in our case incentivizes a quick attack. At least a quick attack to destroy most of the Czech army. I'm just having a think here. Oh yeah, that's right. We can only build. Yeah, okay, I remember now. I guess maybe we go industry. We should do some fuel refining, because fuel is going to be a big issue. We're getting the next heavy fighter. As you can see, we're improving our research and various other things. The war is gonna... Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's crank down to 2 times speed. So the war is not soon, the war is now. Well, looks like we did not get fully trained on the night fighters, or rather the heavy fighters. Oh well, I can deal with that. You're flying over Czechoslovakia. I can see that the army, it's not as well placed as I would wish it to be, but honestly, whatever, man. The sacrifice here is that if I draw the army line, then the units all get the planning bonus, which in our case is 43%, which is a pretty big deal, 43% better attack. And I figure that's going to be more worthwhile than taking direct command of the units, and I may to a limited scale do that. Anyway, let's declare war. Conquer. Okay, decisions available. We're just going to untick all of these because they are not particularly relevant to us. The Juggernaut program, what was that? Grants fighter. No, no, we're not going to be doing that. If it was going to be heavy fighter, I might consider it. Anyway, let's give the attack order and see what happens. Oh. Okay. Ah, alright, I see the problem. So we're actually just screwed. Because I figured out something at the end of the last episode. If we look at the big guy for you division, we have an organization of 0. Um, I didn't in fact realize that heavy SB artillery had 0. Because if we go to... Oh! Oh, artillery doesn't have 0 anymore either! That's very interesting. That must have changed. Well, am I losing my mind? Okay, yes, infantry does have organization. But you can see none of our units have it. In fact, let's see if we can find one that isn't retreating. And we'll... Yeah, so we're not allowed to attack with it because we have no organization. Damn, I wish I'd realized that sooner. Well, as funny as this is, we just lost a run by default. What I'm going to do right now is we're going to say, all right, look, dog, we lost this one. I'm going to come back with a different idea, having looked at the various battalions we can put in the army and then that will narrow down the actual amount of units we can actually use in our army, so I'll be right back. I've had to think these last few minutes, and it occurred to me that the problem with regards to organization can actually be solved relatively easily without compromising any of the ideas of this monobattle. You see, the SPGs may have an organization of 0, but the heavy tanks do have an organization value, which I can show you right now. Let's say we just change this light tank to heavy tank. Heavy tank does in fact have an organization value, which means that theoretically we can fight with it. It's not a very high organization value, but that's okay. That's one of the limitations we'll have to live with. So this time we have a working monobattle, and rather than showing any part of the build-up, I will try to get roughly to where I was before I ended the last run. Well, well, well. Here we are again. What has been but seconds to you has been an hour and a half to me. I've worked up all the same circumstances, more or less, that the last run had. I didn't do an exploit to get Anschluss. I'm actually several months after when the last file left off because I forgot to justify earlier than I did in the last game, but it is more or less the same situation. Manstein and Rommel, with their combined 48 divisions commanded by Guderian going into the Sudetenland, and we've got the motley collection of 96 other horribly understrength divisions around the Reich. The only difference between these two events is that the tanks are not heavy tank artillery, they are just heavy tank. Oh, and of course we've got the Air Force, which is actually a bit smaller than last time. Unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. But in this one I really cranked down on heavy tank production, and we got the Tiger. But like a huge need for reinforcements, and that's also because I queued up a huge amount of divisions to be deployed whenever we get around to that. It's very much on the back burner. But here we are. We can attack Czechoslovakia now. What? Now hang on a moment. Okay. Wait. I may have misread that actually. Shit. Well, I didn't misread that, unfortunately, so we could be in some serious trouble. There's a way of getting around that, I think. Perhaps. Maybe. We'll see. By getting around that trouble, I don't mean actually, I suppose, exploiting it. I mean, like, actually surmounting it. So we're going to take the last two of these, put them back, and we'll take the 24 here, give them a half-decent general. Oh. Alright, we want high defense. Does anyone have unusually high defense here? I think Dietrich is probably where we want to go. No, Castle Ring. Absolutely Castle Ring. Okay, Castle Ring. I want you to move there. Now, the Navy is still very embryonic. Actually, we have 7 of the Panzerschiff and a bunch of destroyers. That's fine. We're going to have to defend the north coast, which kind of sucks. So, we're going to create another command group with the order to garrison the northern coast, including Königsberg. So, we need really only guard points, and by points I mean ports. I'll also guard the control points because I want to have counterattacking forces in case I need them. Right. And you guys can be moved into the active group. Very good. We'll crank up the speed a little bit so we can have the troops get into position. And the game is chugging a bit. That's just how it's got to be, I guess. I see we have some very inefficient moving going on here. So be it. So bloody be it. Oh, and look at that. The ME410 is researched. Very good. Well, we can put that into production, or rather a slightly altered one, because we got some air experience to spend. So let's do that. Looks reasonable. Cool. Take a long time for production to ratchet up. Same with the Tiger. It's well behind on production, which is unfortunate, but that's what you get for Russian heavy tank early in the game. Looks like everyone's getting situated. Castle Ring is not very sanguine about his chances, which is surprising, actually, I gotta say. So maybe we do need another group. Yeah, I'm thinking we do. It seems silly to have to hold the border with so many troops, but, well, again, that's what you get. Who's this going to be commanded by? Ideally another good defender. Uh, yeah, sure, Walter Kruger, whatever. We're out of great defenders. God damn it, Castle Ring. He's moving his troops around slow as molasses. Still, if they can't hold at this point, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Anyway, let's get back to the actual attack on Czechoslovakia. Let's go. Okay, now. Now, we have to break through. This is mountain, I take it? Probably. Mountain? Hill. That's mountain. Well, I don't so much like it, but I think we basically just have to go through them. And the best way to do that is to pick a concentrated point and throw everybody at it. Or virtually everybody, anyway. We can probably manage a little bit more than that. Alright. Let's see what effect that has. Interesting. It says we're losing these fights. Where's the Air Force at, anyway? This could be awkward. This could be very awkward. Looks like our attack value is absolute dumpster fire levels. Okay, I think we have another wash here. Yeah, we're screwed. Okay, well that's highly... Oh, we've already lost divisions too. Wow, well, rip understrength divisions, I suppose. I'm gonna have to come back at this idea again. Give me a bit. Now, I feel very silly, this whole experience considered, because, you don't like losing. And what's worse than losing is doing something stupid and being punished for it. But I did deserve this. I flew very, very, very close to the sun. So, this didn't work. And to make it work, I would have to do one of two things. The first is to wait until I have, like, a huge, I guess, amount of heavy tanks. Like, just in general terms, a huge amount of heavy tanks, way more than I actually have. And, we're 3.5 years into the game, so that I can actually equip a decent number of divisions. And they can fight, and they do okay. Because let's pick one of these battles. Yeah, like, they're doing 28 soft attack, which is an absolute joke. So that being considered... Oh, yes, and the other consideration was... so I can either wait a very long time to produce high-quality units, or I can choose another kind of unit that I don't have to put up with this nonsense. And that would be something like, well, cavalry. Cavalry being, one of the special mobile units, but because all they need is rifles, and presumably horses, but the game doesn't deal in horses, we can't run into the same problems, theoretically, because, everybody will have rifles. So I'm going to put this to the audience. What sort of mono battle should I be going for if I indeed try this again? Should I perhaps go for a more reasonable unit type? I mean, hell, even light tank would be a more reasonable unit type because you can produce a lot more of them. Or should I go for unreasonable unit types but wait way into the game before launching my attack? I put this to the audience. Or alternatively, if anyone in the audience has ideas for a Hearts of Iron vid, because I am still itching to do another Hearts of Iron game, these failures notwithstanding, please do let me know. For now, I expect this very short episode will be going up on YouTube, and I hope to hear back from you. Catch you next time.